we're going to talk about finding the derivative of natural log. The way we're going to do it is not with the formal definition of the limit, because that one's a little hard to follow through. Instead, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of clever manipulations using our knowledge of inverses and natural logs. So, I'm going to let f of x be the natural log of x. So, when I do e to the f of x is equal e to the natural log of x, here's what happens. I get e to the f of x power equals x. E raised to the natural log of x, they're inverses so they cancel out. That's how I got the x out. E to the f of x, I don't know, but I'm going to roll with it. So, let's go ahead and take some derivatives. All right. Now this part right here is going to require a little bit of a chain rule. It's going to be the derivative of the outer function times the derivative of the inner function. And since my goal is to figure out the derivative, I need to get that f of x isolated. So kind of like what we were doing with the implicit differentiation, I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by e to the f of x power and take it from there. So I can say that f prime of x would equal 1 over e to the f of x power. So if you recall, I said that f of x is equal to natural log. So that means that f prime of x is equal to 1 over e to the natural log of x power. And just like what we did before, the e and the natural log are inverses, so they'll cancel out, and the only thing I'll be left with in the denominator is the x. And there's my proof. So to summarize, I can say that the derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x. So let's talk about how we use this piece of information. All right. So let's say we have to work with a derivative of a natural log function, and let's make it messy, because if we can make it messy, then everything else kind of cake. So let's say we have to take the derivative with respect to x of 3 natural log of an x squared minus cosine of x. Okay, so the 3 means I can think about it as 3 times the derivative with respect to x of the natural log of the x squared minus cosine of x. And again, we have another chain rule on our hands. We have the outer function, then we have this inner function. So we'll have 3 times the derivative of the outer function, 1 over the inner function, times the derivative of the inner function. So we get 3 times the 2x plus sine of x over x squared minus cosine of x. Chain rule, but notice the multiplier